Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for coming tonight. As you walked in today, I'm sure you all noticed our diversity rocks section right there, the beautiful rocks that we have painted. It's beautiful, painted. It's a community project. It's one of our signature projects, signature activity. And if you've never participated in that, we call it a community event, community project that you can have your self-painted rocks. You can have your kids paint rock, and then you can just put it there. We would love it. I would like to now thank everyone for coming, especially to our council members and Mayor Cohen. Thank you for coming, Mayor Cohen, Councilwoman Sharon Sullivan, council members Kevin McCoy, Dana Zimbicki, Economic Development Officer Rob Zuckerman, and Board of Ed members Susanna Chu, Laurie Lax, Heather Guest, and Lou. Thank you all for coming. We're going to start off with Pledge of Allegiance. For that, I would like to have, please, Tommy Kuhil, the veteran, please come.
Let's cut. Richard, arms. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now we have Alex Corralo, our senior high school student. She's going to sing Star Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Great job. Good job.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Now I would like to invite Erin Shakir, our Human Relations Council Chair.
Alex, that was like stunning. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. My name is Erin Shakir, and I am the chair of the East Brunswick Human Relations Council. I'd like to first start off by thanking all of you for attending our 6th annual Unity Walk. Please give a round of applause. I'd also like to thank our event leaders, our event chairs, Debbie and Tamer, our community leaders, and all of our guests that will be speaking tonight. The core purpose of this event is to unify our beautiful, diverse community and walk side by side with our fellow neighbors and friends. We want to bring everyone together in a public demonstration of unity and solidarity. Thank you again.
Thank you, Erin. Now I'd like to invite Tiffany Flax, Matthew Lee, and Ryan Shakir. They're our senior rep and sophomore. They're going to recite the community pledge.
Hello everyone, please follow along with me as we read the community pledge. As part of this diverse, multicultural community, I pledge to promote respect and understanding among members, irrespective of their choices, religion, and culture.
I will embrace our similarities and differences through conversation and productive interchange.
I will demonstrate our commitment to preserve and promote unity in our community so that current and future generations can thrive in peace, both here and around the world. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I'd like to invite our East Brunswick Human Relations Council Chair Emeritus Elaine Risley with John Arthur, East Brunswick Public Library Director. We're going to be doing the book donation to the library.
Whoops, I forgot the other one. That's all right. It is with pleasure that I have the opportunity to work, that I have the opportunity to work with our youth librarian, Susanna Klein, and with our wonderful East Brunswick Public Library Director, John Arthur, in selecting the books that East Brunswick Human Relations Council donates each year to our library. It was very evident to me this year that great authors and artists throughout the world, but specifically United States for some of the titles, are concentrating on getting the message of diversity and unity and communication into the books that our youth, our children, and to answer the questions for our teens and seniors that went unanswered for years. And so we are becoming more educated on the uniqueness of our common threads rather than on what makes us different. And I'm going to hand it over to Director John Arthur, who helped to select and order the wonderful titles that will be available in the library for you all to absorb.
So I just wanted to say thank you to the Human Relations Council for making this donation, as well as partnering with us through so many events throughout every year, really. So please visit us at the library, check out these brand new books that we've got, along with the tens of thousands of others that are available. And thank you to the Human Relations Council for including the library in this event and making this annual donation. Thank you very much.
We don't buy them by the pound.
Thank you. Now I'd like to invite Mayor Brad Cohen, please.
Thank you, and thank you all for coming out this evening. We're hoping to get this done before it starts to rain. They say unity is a little bit like exercise. It is a noble cause. We all know that we should be doing it. It's really, really hard to do, but it's something that's really easy to walk away from. And I think that needs to be on the back of our minds when we think about how lucky we are in this community to be able to celebrate the different and diverse cultures that live here. And it reminds me actually of a YouTube video that I saw a couple of years ago. I'm sure many of you have watched it because it's gotten a couple of million hits. But there was I think it was New York City, but there were two young kids that were I think kindergartners. They had gotten back from vacation. They hadn't seen each other in a week. One was a short, stocky little African-American boy, and the other was this skinny, little taller white kid. And they both saw each other in the sidewalk, and they came running after each other in this huge embrace that ended up being a YouTube sensation. And they interviewed the fathers afterwards, And they were talking about the two boys, how they treat each other like they're brothers, and when you talk to the little kids, they actually thought that they both looked the same. They don't see the difference in each other. And I said, gosh, that's really interesting. That's really amazing that at that age, they really don't see differences. But this must be just a YouTube thing that doesn't happen that frequently, until I went up to the schools during the week when we read to the students and do a reading across America. And I was in one of the third or fourth grade classes reading. I forget even what the story was about, something to do with unity and diversity. And one of the kids looked at me and says, don't we all look the same? And I'm looking around at every possible ethnic group that you could think of, which is what we are in this township, and they don't look anything alike. But at that age, they just don't see the differences in one another, and I think that's a wonderful, wonderful lesson that we all need to have, because when you actually study different groups and really realize at the end of the day, there's far more that we have in common than what separates us. And so when I see areas and places where there isn't this level of unity, we try to figure out what it is that prevents us from getting to that point. And I've narrowed it down to three things. One is just plain old fear. And how do you overcome fear? Well, you do programs like what we're having today. We have celebrations in towns like ours where we have every other ethnic religious group having their holidays and their celebrations done in public, where we could all learn from one another and get over that fear factor. The second factor, I believe, is just plain ignorance. And how do you overcome ignorance? You educate yourself. That's why donations to the library and information that we could all share amongst one another helps us to overcome that factor. You can choose to be ignorant, or you can choose to be educated. And I think if you look around this community, most of us have chosen to be educated. That is why we're here celebrating unity with all the different groups in this township. And I think the final thing that has caused disharmony, lack of unity, is something that is festering and tearing this country apart as we speak. And that is the advent of disinformation, which is so unfortunate when we live in a world where you couldn't get more access to information than you can. So I think that if we work hard to overcome our fears, educate ourselves, and strive very, very much to make sure that we all talk from the same set of facts, then it's okay if you disagree. You just don't have to be disagreeable. And I think that at the end of the day, we become a better community and a better country. And that's the lesson that we all should take out of what we're doing here today. And I thank you all for being here.
Thank you so much, Dr. Cohen. Now I'd like to thank all my council members that I've had pleasure working with at the Human Relations Council. Shakir, Paula Quinton, Tamara Faltus. I'm just looking through the Nestor Sohail, Susanna Chu, Elaine Risley, Lou Figueroa, Howie Sarami. It's been a pleasure working with them since such a long time. Now I'd like to invite Dr. Lou Figueroa. He's representing the East Brunswick Public Schools.
Thank you, Debbie, and thank you to the Human Relations Council for allowing me to say a few brief words tonight. I want to also welcome everyone to our 6th annual Unity Walk. I know Aram did that earlier, but I think it's important, and we thank you for coming out. And for all, some of you who've come out for the 6 years, we appreciate that. You know, we're in a wonderfully diverse community here in East Brunswick, and I'm very, very fortunate that I can see this diversity in our schools and our school communities each day. And, you know, I often think of the Unity Walk as a community walk, because that word community comes up so many times. So I'd like everyone now just to think about what community means to you. To me, community is a bunch of people seeing each other, people listening and looking at each other, people willing to act on behalf of a neighbor, people willing to create relationships and depending on each other. You know, the end result of community is joyfulness. Now, happiness is the extension of self. Joyfulness is the merger of self when you forget where you end and someone or something else begins. So I want to wish all of you joyfulness in your lives and in your community. And I want to thank all of you for being here to celebrate our community tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Lou. Now I'd like to invite Laurie Lax, who's the president of Board of Education.
Thank you, Davi. Thank you to the East Brunswick Human Relations Council. This is actually my 5th of 6 years attending. I apologize, I did miss 1 year. So I have actually grown up in East Brunswick, and when I was growing up here, we didn't have as diverse of a community, but we always did have some diversity. And I'm proud to say that I was raised in a household where my parents taught us it doesn't matter what you look like, who you pray to, who you love. Those are not things that we judge other people on, and I'm happy to say that I've raised my children the same way. And what's nice is going and listening to people like Dr. Cohen talking about children not seeing the differences. It's very true. My children have white skin. They have cousins that have black skin. They have never once asked, why do my cousins have different color skin than me? Are we still the same family? We have different religions represented. We have a little bit of everything. And what's nice is when you think of unity and you think of coming together, it doesn't mean we all have to be the same. We can all be different. We can all bring our own flavor to everything. And that's what makes it such a beautiful community, because we learn, we share our cultures, our backgrounds, and we learn to love and respect each other. And in the schools, that's exactly what you see. And I can tell you we're a 9-member Board of Education. You have 3 women here tonight, Susanna Chu, Heather Gross, and myself. And we are all 3 women, but we're very different in our own way. Different cultures, different backgrounds, and we work really well together because we respect each other. And that's the best thing about unity, and the best thing about this community is we're all here together, coming together as one, not the same, but embracing each other for our differences and respecting each other for that. So on behalf of the Board of Ed, as I said, I thank you so much for having me here. It's a wonderful event. I love to see the kids because you are our future. So if you are embracing what the Human Relations Council is teaching you, then we're doing our job, and I'm very, very thrilled and excited to see what the future brings. So thank you again.
Thank you, Laurie. Now I'd like to invite our guest speaker, Police Officer Reggie Wright.
All right, here we go. Well, first of all, I want to thank the Human Relations Council for having me. I do appreciate the opportunity, and I appreciate them thinking enough of me to invite me. I think we all get the point in regards to unity. When I was asked to speak in regards to unity, I wasn't quite sure what I was going to touch on or what I was going to say. When I think of unity, I think about the fact that, as you can see, I'm a black man that grew up in the city of Trenton, New Jersey. Trenton, New Jersey is about 8.3 square miles, 83,000 people. There wasn't much diversity. But graduating from school, a parochial school I attended, most of the people that taught me did not look like me, but they did care about me. So they didn't necessarily judge me based on where I came from and the color of my skin, but they provided me with a level of hope by educating me. After I graduated from high school in the Trenton area, I went on to college. After college, I had the opportunity to go overseas and play basketball. And I always have something in the schools when I teach kids. I say exposure leads to expansion. And what happened is when I went overseas in Europe, I was exposed to a diverse group of people, different color, different race, creeds, ethnicity, culture. And the one thing that's beautiful about playing a sport, for those that have played the sport, is that you have a common goal. You have a single common goal. In order to reach that goal, you have to come together. And I love the Golden State Warriors. They have a saying that there's strength in numbers. There's strength in unity. When we come together, right, we embrace each other's differences, there's beauty in that. There's beauty in understanding people's diversity, understanding where they come from. You know, my grandmother taught me, I was raised by my grandmother, she taught me to never judge anyone based on the color of their skin. Don't judge them where they come from. Don't let people judge you on where you come from. Be proud of where you come from. I'm proud to say that I'm from Trenton, New Jersey. I'm proud to say that I'm a black man, but I'm also proud to embrace the diversity of others. There's beauty in that, and it's important for us to understand that everyone is different. We all have our preferences. We all have things that we like and dislike. But if we can appreciate each other for how we are created and who we are, then we can do a whole lot together more than we can individually and apart from each other. So I hope that within this community, we will continue to stand firm and stand together. I teach the lead curriculum in the schools, and the beauty of teaching these students in the school is that I see different students that are different race, different ethnicities, and what I try to bring to them is a measure of hope, letting them know that they have the courage, the self-discipline, and the responsibility that they can accomplish their dreams, and for them to encourage each other. There's something about peer pressure when it's positive. Right, when people are unifying together to do something positive, they truly can accomplish their goals. And I want them to understand that they have worth and value and that they were created with a purpose. And that comes from uniting. I want everyone in this school system that comes across me to realize that, listen, you are someone, regardless of your socioeconomical status, your political affiliation, that we have to truly respect and love and care about each other because we are stronger together than we are apart. Thank you.
Beautifully said, Officer Wright. Now I'd like to invite my colleague Tamara Falters, and also who's co-chairing this event with me.
Thank you, Davi. Thank you, everyone. I'm Tamara Falters, part of the East Brunswick Community, Human Relations Community Council. So I'm here just to thank everybody who came in and participated today with us. First, I just want to say something about the togetherness that we have right now. The sense of community that is created when people come together with shared purpose is phenomenal. So thank you, everyone who came today and participated. The acknowledgements and thank you today is first our mayor, Brad Cohen. Thank you so much for coming. Officer Reggie Wright, Alex Carolla, Tommy Cohen, East Brunswick Scouts Park and Troop 109, 132, 223, 501. Department of Recreation, Parks, and Community Services, East Brunswick Arts Collision, East Brunswick Board of Education, East Brunswick Public Library, East Brunswick Interfaith Clergy Council, East Brunswick Youth Council, East Brunswick Public Schools, Formosa Association of Student Culture Ambassadors, Lost Souls Public Memorial Project, Mid-Jersey Chinese School. Of course, thank you for East Brunswick TV for their presence. And a special thanks to our community partners and members, and especially the East Brunswick Human Relations Council. Again, thank you for coming, and God bless our community, God bless America.
Thank you, Tamara. Now the wait is over. We're gonna all combine together, and we're gonna unite and walk in unity. Thank you again for all coming tonight.